Howdy guys, Nathan here in El Segundo, California at Mattel's Hot Wheel Design Center. And what does it take to make something like this into something smaller? That's right, what does it take to actually make a Hot Wheel? And I'm not just talking about the little design things here and there, I'm talking about the whole 9 yards, going from a full-size car all the way down to something that you can buy for a couple bucks, and even the packaging. Well, stay tuned. We're going to take a tour right now.
We're really the only brand that does this, where we create our own cars that are super cool and authentic, that feel like they could be a real car, right? So here's a cool time attack kind of car that one of our designers did. Got classic muscle car that's just Hot Wheels original. Even fun stuff like crazy taco car, right? Which even the name is fun. We love to have fun with names and things. So the designer was Ryu Asada, and so we call it Car de Asada, named after him. So kind of a fun little thing there.
Through this tour, we're getting access to a variety of different things, and that's including 3D printing. What it takes to actually take a vehicle, create it in a 3D form, test it out, and then progressively go through it until you can actually build it. Now here's the cool part. These vehicles, once they're tiny, take about 18 months to go from the concept of taking something like, the Barbie Maserati, from this all the way down to the actual toy in its packaging that you can buy.
This whole process takes about 18 months from start to finish. So in this case, normally we'd start with a few sketches or whatever, but in the case of the Texas 2, the car was already designed, right? So it's a matter of the designer and sculptor working together with the owner, builder, and arriving at a digital solid model. So we'll start with the internal sculptor here. We'll create the digital solid, and that's just a one-piece solid model that reflects the way the vehicle looks. And the designer then turns that over to our development engineers in Malaysia, and they arrive at a digital tooling model. So that, again, they go 2 or 3 rounds with the engineer before we get to this final digital tooling model. And the designer reviews that to make sure all the parts are parted out correctly, that everything looks the way we intended. There may sometimes have to be some compromises, like where parts might need to get thickened for production, so it's durable and everything and safe and all that. Once we approve that, we agree to cut steel. We go to first shots or engineering pilot, and now it's the first time we're seeing it tooled up in the materials it's going to be, but we're not looking at color or anything at that point. We're just looking at the tool to make sure everything's coming together correctly. Once we get that dialed in, we go to a final engineering prototype, which is the first time we see it in full color in the deco it's going to be. And as long as the colors are correct, everything's the way we intended it to look, we'll approve that and go to PP, which is a product and package. And that's basically what you're going to see on shelf. So that whole process, like I said, takes about 18 months. And the cool thing is the Hot Wheels designers get to be a part of that process from start to finish. So that's one thing that was, really refreshing for me, coming from the car industry, where a lot of times you work on a car, a full-size car, and you may only have to do with a little part of that project, and you don't have a whole lot of control of where it goes from when you leave it. And here it's really satisfying as a designer to see something from very first ideation all the way to final product on shelf.
Hello everybody, I'm Bobby Coleman, as Brian just mentioned. I run the day-to-day operations for Mattel's RP or additive manufacturing or 3D printing lab, all kind of roles one and the same. Here at Mattel we have 14 3D printers spanning over 5 different 3D printing technologies. I'll go over real quickly just the very basics of how each technology kind of works. The side that we're standing on right now for the room is our PolyJet 3D printing. With these printers, they're able to do full color printing, solid single color printing, able to print parts out of various rubber materials, as well as translucent parts, clear parts with various tints. I'm gonna go ahead and open up this machine right behind you. No fingers in the machines, please. With the way these machines work, this cabinet here does have tubing run along the back side of the machine, running 8 materials all at the same time. What's common with this technology is they're all running a support or like a gel-based material that kind of holds parts together, acts also as a substrate like paper would on an inkjet printer. So as it's adding layers, the part or model material doesn't just fall down and travel away from what we're trying to print, keeps everything together. So when a part comes off of the machine, it looks something like this. Or I can even show you the other car. And then these stations back here are just high pressure tap water that we rinse off that gel, and this would be the before and after from after it being rinsed off. Here's just to get, you know, some of the water off of it, but here you go, you get a before and after.
Something you should know, Hot Wheels is doing something awesome with the public, and it's called the Legends Tour. And that means full-size replicas of their tiny cars. These are Hot Wheels. They're just full-size and can be driven. And this event, which is happening in 13 different countries, has been going on for 7 years, since 2018. And it is an event for the public to come on in and look at these amazing vehicles. I was wondering about, I know you worked at the automotive industry.
Yes.
But what about the other side of it, where the automotive industry has come to you guys and said, listen, we're actually thinking about production. Mm-hmm. I know it's happened, you know, before.
Yeah.
Have you guys recently had to deal with that, and how does that work?
Yeah, so I mean, like we did the full-size Camaros with General Motors.
Right.
And that was a great partnership. We've got, you know, wonderful relationship with pretty much all the vehicle manufacturers. There's been a lot of talks here and there about, you know, doing something like that again. You know, I'm not at liberty to say
no, of course,
or whatever,
yeah,
but we do have a lot of close relationships, and we've done things like, I don't know if you saw the Aston Martin we just unveiled. It doesn't exist in real life, but we basically told the story with Aston Martin. We worked together with them to kind of like create an alternate past where we created a land speed version of that car. So it's like, oh, if Aston had gotten into land speed racing back in the 60s, what if? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so we've done things like that. We've done co-launches where we unveil a car together. Mm-hmm. So we actually recently did that with Mercedes. And Matchbox, but which I work on Matchbox as well. So
okay. So you've done both sides.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was a part of that co-launch, and that was pretty incredible. We created a lot of buzz, a lot of noise around the fact that the new G-Wagon, electric G-Wagon, was unveiled simultaneously with the Matchbox electric G-Wagon.
Ah, cool.
And we had a really cool party in Beverly Hills with all the Kardashians and all the
they had some friends over there too.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so that was really fun. So we've done a lot of stuff like that, and we've actually got some other upcoming co-launches coming up, which I can't mention. But
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
At least we know something's on the horizon.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, for sure.
A special thank you to Mattel and, of course, Hot Wheels for this behind-the-scenes tour. It was awesome. I learned things that, frankly, I had no idea about. I didn't realize how much creativity was really needed to build these things, and how much hard work was needed, and how this was an entire worldwide effort just to build a little tiny toy that you could buy for a few bucks. It was fascinating. And at the same time, I'm a little disappointed, not with this place, but with myself, because, damn it, I now want to start buying these things again and playing with them, and I can only expect my teenage son staring at me in disbelief as I do so. But you know what? I think I'll do that. Thanks, guys, for joining me. I'll see you next time.